Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. Today is Sunday, December 28th, and I wanted to get you out my new weekly bands and tradable levels. Just a little recap of our trading from this week. Decent week, up and down, to be honest with you. I think probably closer to break even than anything in the green, but at least wasn't in the red. So a little bit better than the first couple of weeks here of December, which for me personally has not been the best trading month in general. But what I will say is I have been finding that volume has started to settle in, especially with the new March contract. And if you guys have been catching me live on stream, you're starting to see a lot more of the reactionary points that I put up on my markup on my charts have been seeing some really good reactions from. And that's extremely positive. That's a really good sign that it's going in the right direction where on how I see volume and how I incorporate the new contract with the December's volume, because obviously when we visit price action, there is in many cases price action that the March contract doesn't have any volume for, and we are switching back into December's volume. And there's a way that you have to incorporate those two, almost kind of have like a blend of the two volumes to start making your levels match up with each other. And I'm starting to see that on the charts, which is a fantastic sign. So with that being said, let me get into the intro. We'll get into our new weekly bands and our tradable levels. And one thing I'll say before the intro is if you join me live on stream, I'm start about 30 minutes prior to the market open every single day. You're going to start to see me trade a lot more of the around the weekly bands that I put out on these videos. The tradable levels, the 5 to 15 minute, I've been showing a lot of the secret sauce, a lot of the stuff that's actually in the masterclass that's going to be released here on January 1st. I'm visually showing you guys during the stream, so I highly encourage you, if you can't jump on, if you're at work, just take a look at the recording, and I think there's a wealth of information in those live streams. So with that being said, let's get into the intro and let's get into our new weekly bands and tradable levels. As always, nothing that I state on my channel is financial advice. Trading futures or any type of trading is risky business. Any capital that is put out there is at risk for loss. All right, so I got the NQ chart pulled up here, and I mean, this was honestly a beauty. You can't get much better than this tradable level that I gave you guys here on Sunday. Not many tradable levels on the NQ from last week, but the one that was provided here was just absolutely rock solid at the 25,796. My video came out on the 21st, so price action was hovering right around here. In a weekly band, which, as you guys have said it many times, the tradable levels that also fall within the weekly band are going to be extremely powerful. And this was a perfect example of very minimal drawdown. In total, let's see if I get this ruler tool working here. Not a shabby 167 points on that move to the downside. So that just shows you, one, the power of the weekly bands, and two, the power of the tradable levels that I give you guys here on every Sunday. And I get it. I know there's a lot of you that watch the video and say, well, you know what, these tradable levels won't work the next time that I use them. He's been posting these videos for 5 or 6 months, and they always seem to react really nicely at his levels. But when I go in, it's not going to be in. Yes, you might be right. But I can tell you one thing, that you are going to have an edge in the markets if you learn the system, if you learn how I use volume, how I find my levels, I guarantee you will become a better trader. And that was one of the main reasons to launch this masterclass that I have, the volume masterclass, is so that people can start doing this not only on the NQ and the ES, but in any markets that you trade: gold, RTY, the YM, Bitcoin, stocks, anything you want to trade, this will work on. And that's a true testament of a good strategy, is that it will work on all of the in any markets that you choose on. Now, granted, the markets have to have some liquidity to them, and they've got to be some liquid markets. for volume to really show its true colors. But most of the ones that I named over there, they're all going to be super high liquidity. So with that being said, let's make some adjustments to the weekly bands on the NQ and to our tradable levels. So first one, I think we can actually move this guy, which is going to be moved down to the 25,700, down to the 25,627. And then I got to make sure I do this because I know I made a mistake last weekend. It was put in the right place, but I had the wrong label on there. I apologize for that. All right, so new weekly band here at the 25,700 down to the 25,627. So again, price action gets down here. It's going to have a very, very hard time to get through it. It's going to either take high impact news, headline news, or multiple retaps like we showed right here to finally break through those, this weekly band. Our next band is going to sit, I believe I can change this guy. No, this guy's going to stay, so I just got to clone one more. Give me 1 second here. Clone, move this guy up. Perfect. And this one's going to sit at the 25,565 to the 25,494. So again, the 25,565 down to the 25,494. Beautiful. That is going to be your secondary weekly band below price action. Remember, we still got this one that has not been tapped into. We also have got a tradable level at the 25,344 that has not been tapped into. Super high probability trade there. And then as far as our new tradable levels, I can start with this guy. I'll move him to the 25,834. Text 25,834. Okay, so right below where price action is at. Same disclosure I give on all of my Sunday videos. You've got your Sunday night open, which is at 5 p.m. Central Time. You just got to make sure there's typically a gap in the market. So we might get a gap to the upside, which then in case you're looking for a possible long at the 25,834. But if we get a gap and we get an open down here at the 25,800s, obviously we're not taking a short off of this level. In that scenario, what you'd want to do is you want to start taking a fade off the 25,834, pushing it to the downside. Okay, so very careful at the open. You don't want to be trading the closest level without seeing where the Sunday gap is forming. And our next tradable level is going to be at the 25,700. So 25,700, right at the top of this band. Love it. Absolutely love this one. You're going to get a very high reactionary point right here. And your third tradable level is going to sit at the 25,600. And that one is going to be sitting sandwiched in between these two weekly bands here. You'll see a nice reaction here at the 25,600s as well. So those are all of our tradable levels and our weekly bands for the NQ. And again, if you want to receive an email every single Sunday that has all of my weekly bands and all of my tradable levels mapped out very nicely, all of them. So even the ones that are past ones, so that you are caught up to date. Just go to my website, which is at www.robstrades.com. First pop-up will ask you just for your name and your email, and I'll send you out those reports every single Sunday. We take a look at the ES. ES is a little bit of a different bag here, so let's get into the ES because not everything is perfect. All right, so price action. My video came out on the 21st. I had a tradable level at the 69.50, and I had a weekly band at the 69.90 to the 69.43. Well, we finally did tap into the 69.50. We had this is on the 15-minute. So we had a pause in the market here, but for one reason or the other, this level here did not get respected on the ES. And as you can see, the weekly band also had a hard time, still haven't broken through it, But it's also had a hard time getting through it, but it has not given us the normal reaction that I like to see off of this weekly band. So full transparency there. Slight adjustment that I need to make now on this band, which is going to be at the 68.59 to the 68.15. Again, the 68.59 to the 68.59 to the 68.15. Where did she go? Where'd you go? No, I'm sorry. This was already here. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. This band 59 is right here. Okay, so I already have this weekly band. Yeah, so this weekly band, well, I got it to 68.61, close enough. 68.59. Let's actually call this the 68.60, so we don't have any issues here on this weekly band right there. Okay, so 68.59, 68.72. Okay, so all my weekly bands below here are all good. So we are all set there. As far as new tradable levels, we've got a level that's going to sit at the 69.34. 69.34. Okay, so below where price action is currently at. We've got another level that's going to be sitting at the 68.33, which is going to be right below this previous level. I'm sorry, right here. And then let's make sure 68.33 coordinates. That's not right. 68.33. Yeah. Okay. So this is a new tradable level that I found at the 68.33. We do have one above it at the 68.49 and then the 69.34. So not a lot of adjustments on the ES. We only had one tradable level, and as you guys can see, it did not get respected well. I will say the toughest one right now has been the ES for me personally to trade. Did take a nice little scalp for about 5 or 6 points on the on stream. Friday? No. Yeah, on Friday, which was a decent one, but not a lot of levels and not a lot of really super A+ setups on the ES currently. We need for price action obviously to move to the downside for us to, one, generate some setups from the top side, and then two, to retest some of these unbalanced volume areas down below. So that is the roadmap for the ES and the NQ, at least for the next couple of days. As I've been stating many times, my volume masterclass is going to be coming out January 1st, so I'll have a video coming out on that. And secondly, for all of you that are part of my Signal service, I know there's a lot of you through YouTube and through Discord. We are making our migration on January 1st to our new Signal service platform, which is going to be pretty fantastic. It's got now instant text and email capability. So the second that I post a trade signal, you will receive that through your text message and through email, and obviously through the portal. I've got a live trading room in there with extended hours beyond my normal YouTube viewing times. And just the entire functionality is just so much more cleaner, a lot more efficient, fully charted setups. Once it's completed, it's going to be really, really nice. So if you're interested in joining that, that'll be launched on January 1st as well. I am in the process this week of switching over everyone from Discord and YouTube into the new platform. So it should be a pretty busy week for me, but I think it's well worth it. And if you haven't caught me live, I highly encourage you to do it. And one last thing, a shameless plug. If you are looking at any evaluations or any prop firms, just use code TraderRob. I really appreciate any support that I can get on the channel. I know Apex just launched a pretty big 90% off sale once again, so that's in play. And again, if you want, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it'll get you the same discount as everywhere else using code TraderRob. That's all I got for you guys. Looking forward to start trading tomorrow. Take care, everyone.